Hello, everybody. It's me, Tracy. I'm back after a brief hiatus. I have a bunch of announcements, but first thing, definitely, I need everybody to subscribe. My goal is still 1,000 subscribers. I'm still at 115 after all these months. So if you haven't already, please subscribe. I've got a ton, and I mean a ton, of announcements to get to before I get to my topic this evening. Um, let's see which one I want to do. So, of course, again, subscribe, like this video. Be sure to like this video because when you like it, that puts us higher in the YouTube algorithm. I don't know how the whole algorithm thing works, but if you like this video, it'll push it up higher where other people can see it. Share this video to your social media. That would be very fantastic if you could do. I would appreciate that. And as always, if you're watching, um, comment, please. I'm definitely looking for some comments. Right now, I don't see anybody in the audience, but they may just be watching and hidden for some odd reason. Um, so I'm trying to figure out. Oh, if you notice, I look a little bit different. That's because you're seeing my hair not, I don't want to say did, because that's a term that some of you won't understand, but there's no heat to it. So I just shampooed it, conditioned it, and just kind of let it go. Um, Probably look like this for next couple weeks, and then the fifth, I'll just get it all in order. But just decided to let you all see what I actually look like without heat added to my hair, which makes it straight. But we're not going to go through the things that I do for this channel. So first thing is first. First big, huge announcement. I am on Rumble now. So there will be a couple of shows the ones especially that I tape on Zoom, that will be exclusively on Rumble. I believe that is the link. I loaded up one of my videos to test, so you can follow me there. I'll give an announcement as that date gets kind of closer, but I now have a Rumble channel. So that's big news. The second big piece of news is I'm moving my support from Patreon to Buy Me a Coffee. Now, I'm not going to do it until September. September will be the date that September the 1st, I will move everything from Patreon to Buy Me a Coffee. So as that gets closer, you'll just hear me say Buy Me a Coffee, which is why I did not put my Patreon link in here, because I want everybody to know that I'm not going to be on Patreon too much longer. I'm going to be at this Buy Me a Coffee and see how it works. Some things about Patreon I just don't like, so I'm going to try this app. This mode of gaining support. It seems to be a lot easier, so I will be moving all my financial support links to Buy Me a Coffee, and it'll still be the same levels, but there'll be a whole lot more lot more ways to interact. Let's see. So, another big, huge announcement is High Heels and Blue Jeans podcast is coming back August the 4th at 8:15 for a special show. Mark that on your calendars. That is in, let's see, Friday's the 21st to 29th. That's in like 3 weeks. Keep in mind that High Heels and Blue Jeans will have an episode on August the 4th, 2023. I'm going to save my big one for last. So, TRACYMedia is also doing a documentary about the Medicare for All system, technically called You Make Me Sick. This is the link to make your contributions. My goal is to raise $25,000 so it can have that professional look. So, essentially, I will be talking to people who are affected by our awful, awful, awful healthcare system and what we can do to change it. So more details are at that site, and I'll actually link the actual site to my site. And I didn't put it on here, but keep in mind this also. You can watch this episode live on my website, TRACYMedia LLC.com. Um, that's another way to watch it. And here is now the very, very, very last announcement for this evening. I will be going live August the 23rd, 2023. I have it at 7:30, but I'll probably make it 7 for the RNC primary debate. I know it's going to be a joke, but you know what? It's I make it my responsibility. Anytime there's a debate, don't care if it's Democrat, Independent, Republican, I'm going to be there. And I can't even believe this person is in here. Hello, Mickey. How are you? I'm not used to seeing you here. Hello, hello, hello. How are you? Glad to see you. So, if you haven't looked at the title, I am going to talk about why Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is polling so well. I'm going to say a couple of disclaimers here for all the people out there watching. I know this is early. The elections are more than a year away. But there's polls. There's definitely polls, and I'm going to talk about why he's polling so well. So please miss me with the Joe Biden has time to catch up. We know that. We know anything could change at any time, but RFK's numbers are way better than even I thought. I believe that as the incumbent, Joe Biden should be slaughtering, and I mean literally slaughtering Marianne Williamson. He should be slaughtering RFK. He should be slaughtering Trump. Popeye the Sailor Kennedy. I don't get that one. You'll have to explain that. Joe Biden should be beating everybody in the field by at least 10 points. At least by 10 points. And so my number one theory about why RFK is polling so well is because Biden is doing such a terrible, terrible job. Like I said, he should be beating all those people by at least 10 points, no less. Why is he so close to Trump? Like Trump, if you looked at polls today, he's losing to Trump. You're the incumbent. You should be beating Trump by at least 10 to 20. 10 to 20 points. 20 might be too high, but you should not be trailing Trump at this point. And that's because you've done such a poor job. Let's see. Although too young to vote, the first candidate I stumped for was JFK. When RFK came to the seat, I had even high hopes for him. Sad that I can't say the same for his son. We're going to talk about him, Mickey. We're going to talk about it. But if you look at what Biden has done, it's hard for me to say something positive that he's accomplished. I'm not going to say, well, he hasn't done anything, because we use that in kind of what's it called when you just use it as not an expression, but you're using it as I can't think of the word, but I know what I'm talking about. But if you look at what he's done, Build Back Better, handout for corporations, the infrastructure bill that doesn't actually infrastructure anything, not extending the COVID emergency so that people could stay on Medicaid, the whole student loan debt thing. We're going to be talking about that on August the 5th. That's just the intentional thing that I think he's doing to try to kind of squeeze this out into the election and then give people that little piddly pat 10,000 when he could just literally forgive it all and say Higher Education Act goodbye. He could just literally do that. You don't have to. But these, I can't really sit if I'm talking to Democrats. I don't think they can tell me any major thing that Joe Biden has accomplished. They'll say, "Oh, unemployment is low." Problem with the unemployment report is it doesn't take in two factors. One, it doesn't poll people that have just literally stopped looking for jobs. And second, whatever the unemployment rate is, it's double for black people and other people of color. Literally. I would say the child tax credit that had cut poverty, I'm not sure in half, but I'm sure that it lifted some children out of poverty. But again, Joe Manchin, his favorite senator, or as I call him, President Manchin, stopped that. You didn't get voters' rights. You're drilling offshore and public lands. The whole not codifying Roe v. Wade. I'm serious. I want somebody that's watching this video to tell me just one positive thing that Joe Biden has done. I'm serious. I'm definitely serious. It's just like I can't think. I'm sitting here literally trying to think of something, and I'm just like um, um. I would have said this the stimulus checks, but of course in that case he promised 2,000, delivered 1,400. I'm just like I don't know. I'm serious. Just one thing. One. That's all I'm asking for. One thing. That's um oh, and I forgot about the whole $15 minimum wage. That was one of the things when Bernie was in the race against him and why Bernie endorsed him. I'm still like, bruh, you got problems. But when Bernie was gonna drop out, one of his concessions to dropping out is when the $15 minimum wage got to Joe Biden's desk, he would sign it. Guess Bernie didn't think because eight Democratic senators voted against it. Now you're saying, well, that's not his fault. He can't sign what doesn't come to his desk. However, I think what Democrats seem to forget is he has that bully pulpit, and we're going to be talking about how well LBJ and FDR used that bully pulpit to get what they want. Biden came up with some parliamentarian excuse, which, to be honest, I didn't even know we had a parliamentarian until he kind of like brought it up. I'm like, oh, we got a parliamentarian? Oh, that exists? I literally had no idea. And then I didn't realize that the parliamentarian could be fired just at will. Um, they could just fire the parliamentarian for any reason. Apparently, Trump did it. When he didn't like what the parliamentarian said, he fired him and got another one. Biden didn't even try. And that's one of the main reasons I think that he is doing so well. Well, let's look at some comments that came in, because some came in here. Biden has done a little for the people. What he hasn't done is follow through on his big promises. Thank you. He hasn't done any progressive policies. More so often, more so often stepped over the center line to the right. I still say he's a Republican, but that's just me. It's hard to bully at his age. Oh my goodness, I'm not talking about being a physical bully. I'm talking about using the office of the presidency to bully senators. For example, um, the Voters' Rights Act, something else that the administration couldn't get done. You couldn't get um you couldn't get when that voters' rights when Kirsten Sinema came in and argued, said I'm not gonna lift the filibuster to pass this Voters' Rights Act. Instead of flying a plane to Arizona where she lives and shame her, you fly Kamala Harris. You don't go yourself. You fly Kamala Harris to Georgia. Huh, what? 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 Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It's like this administration wants to fail. Another comment. When parliamentarians didn't agree with Republicans, they fired him and hired one who agreed. I said that. When the parliamentarians said no to minimum wage increase, Biden kissed Kate. It's the parliamentarian. We can yes, you can. And that's the number one reason I think he's Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Why he's polling so well. Um Progressives don't know how to compromise. Why should we compromise? I mean, seriously. I'm asking that in all honesty. Why should we compromise? What are we doing? What are we compromising on? $15 minimum wage. There's a report, and I forget what the report is saying, that if you look at all the states, a $15 minimum wage um, is not enough to afford like a 2-bedroom apartment. Wow, these comments are pouring in, um, coming in, but I'm gonna disagree with it. Compromise is one thing, selling out and doing nothing is a whole nother one. You may have talked about this already, but his comments made this week saying, I'm going to read this slow because Parker, I did not talk about this. You may have talked about this already, but comments made this week saying there is an argument to be made that COVID was designed to give more immunity. Yes, I'm going to talk about Robert F. Kennedy's comments because I'm getting to why he's polling so well here. I'm going to get to it. You have another video set for this time to go live. I was over there. Sorry, Theus. I changed it and then it delete the other one. Traditional Dems don't know how to think outside the box. I don't think there's a box that they think in, but that's just me. Hi, Theus. Hi, Parker. And she said, what? Okay, so that's the first reason that I think that Robert F. Kennedy is polling so well. Joe Biden is doing a terrible job. Here comes my first conspiracy theory. You're going to tell me if I'm just going a little bit off the wall on this one. I wouldn't know why Robert F. Kennedy has so much support from the Republican Party. Why? Why is he so highly favored, right? You could say the Kennedy name, but as much as the media talks about it, I personally don't think that the Kennedy name means what it meant in the 60s or the 50s, the 60s, and the 70s. I don't see it. I don't see that's why um I don't see that's why conservatives were poll him. I mean, there are some polls I read where they ask who would you want as president? Trump is first, obviously, but second is Robert F. Kennedy, and I'm like, y'all know he's Democrat, right? Why is he getting this? Why is he getting all of this support? I see a whole lot of people watching. Thank you all, but why is he getting so much support from the right? I'm going to float this theory out there, and I want you all to tell me if you agree with me. Do you think that if Trump gets the nomination and isn't in prison, because I think DeSantis, his campaign is not going to mess up, would or could Trump pick him as vice president? And I say that because Trump has been very complimentary towards Kennedy, and I don't know why. There's a why in there, and I'm not understanding it. Boy, these comments are coming in. Thank y'all for these comments. Okay, so hey CS, I forgot to say hello. So progressives are full of principles, short on plans. I don't even I see where you're going. I do see where you're going. To split the Democratic vote. I'm going to disagree with this. And the reason I'm going to disagree with this reason is there was a survey taken amongst Democrats. that said, hey, do you think Joe Biden should run again for president? And the majority of the people said no. That's them over there that don't want, I mean, your own party doesn't even want you to run. I don't see how you could split that vote if most of your party is saying, hey, you know what? Don't run. Don't run. Don't run. It's because he promotes Republican right-wing conspiracy talking points. Now, Parker, you just got to something else, and I wanted to get to this one because I want to read this comment because he fits right into this right wing conspiracy theory type of thing. So says you may have talked about this already. I hadn't, but his comments made this week saying there is an argument to be made that COVID was designed to give immunity to certain ethnicities. What ethnicities was he talking about? Was he talking about black people, Hispanic people, Asian? And I'm asking because he says things like that, and then he'll say, "Oh, we need to research it." Why? I'm just not understanding why so many Republicans like this. I mean, he says what they want, um, and that's why they're attracted to him. But why is he a Democrat? If that's my, if my, and I'm thinking out loud here because it's not making sense to me. He's talking right wing conspiracy theories. You agree, I agree, we all agree. That plays to the right. So why not just run as a Republican, right? Is he edging, like I said, is he um fearing that Biden will lose and that Trump will appoint him to a cabinet position? I don't know if Trump could nominate him as vice president. I think he can, but I'm not 100% sure. Um, but I'm gonna keep reading these comments because they just keep coming in. Kennedy is a spoiler for distracted older generation Democratic voters. He's anti-Semitic and delusional and a strong conservative. Again, why is he running as a Democrat? This doesn't make sense. Because RFK Jr. is barely a moderate. I don't even think he's moderate. I think he's all the way conservative. Um, Sticking his toes over the line to the right. The ghost of RFK Sr. will kick. Oh, wow! Thank you for editing that. I appreciate it. But and I've heard. Let me take that off. Hold on a second. RFK was saying there's an argument to be made that COVID was designed to give more immunity to Chinese and certain Jewish groups, and also said it was designed to target Caucasian. You know what? Sometimes people need to shut up. And we gotta be careful because YouTube, they love to take down some stuff when you talk about COVID and the jab. They like taking stuff down. So if y'all don't see me, y'all know why. But he said that I want to Parker send me that clip because he couldn't have been that no, I'm not gonna say that because every time I say he couldn't have been that stupid, then he turns around and he's that stupid. Oh my gosh. RFK also runs for attention. Ask his family. Okay, now you know something that I know his family disavows him for his COVID views and some of his other views. Wacky dude. Yeah. Is he a plant? Is RFK Jr. a plant from the Republican Party? It's a theory. If you look at how he's running his campaign, one, he says he gets small donations from his donors. I don't believe it. I'm gonna look on Open Secrets and see. I should have did that. Nope, you know what? I'll do it now. Because I'm not sure I'm believing him when he talks about he gets his donations from small donors and they just give him money. I'm just like, who is he getting his money from? And I'm gonna name these groups: RFK Jr. Okay, political political contributions. Contrib contributions. I can't spell. Okay. 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 See. Oh, Dark Money doesn't even have a link up. But here is what. Thank you, Parker. So here's an article I might go back and tap in later. So it says he's reported raising $6.3 million since April, which that's probably increased because it's July. This article's a little old. No, this is from yesterday. So he's raised $6 million. He spent only $1 million, and he has 4.5 on cash. That's not enough to really run for president. I mean, it takes um it's gonna take at least, and this is so sad, it's gonna take at least $1 billion. But I want everybody to think about it. It's not, and I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but the thought's been in my head like, is this guy a plan? Like, is the RNC paying him to run as a Democrat? Because it doesn't even make sense. Like I said, if Joe Biden was doing a better job, he wouldn't even have this problem. He would just be coasting and nobody would even think about running against him. But because he is running, doing such a terrible job, it's just like, okay, we'll just run this guy. Is And I want somebody to definitely answer this question because I don't know. Because I looked it up on YouTube, Google, and I'm going to ask Google. So hold on a second, guys. Can Trump pick a Democrat as vice president? No. Can Trump pick a Democrat as vice president? Oh, now they not going to do it. See, now they make me sick. Can Trump pick? Because I'm seriously, he's got to be running for some. Okay, thank you to my sister for answering. So he can. I think Kennedy's running. I think what Trump's gonna do. Um, I think what Trump's gonna do. I got it. Okay, so now I'm bringing in Republicans, but I'll just do it anyway. Um, I think if he doesn't pick Tim Scott, because I think Tim Scott is who he's gonna pick, so everybody says, "Oh, look," he can say, "I'm not racist. I picked this black guy." But if Scott turns him down, I think he's not gonna pick DeSantis because um DeSantis insulted him too much. He could pick Robert F. Kennedy as his running mate. It would be one of those, he's working across party lines, he's trying to bridge the gap, he's trying to stay in the da 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 da. More comments keep coming in. There's nothing to prevent him from doing so. That's what I thought. Yes, it used to be standard. It did. Hey, Athena, hi! I haven't seen you in so long. As long as the RNC approves it, but Parker, who runs the RNC? Joe Biden is doing a great job. Name a metric he's improved, and he improved it over Trump. No, he didn't. He kept Trump's policy, especially his border policy. He upped the drilling. The party owed us a better option, but it's corrupted. He's running again. I think he'll pick a woman. I can't see it. He'll definitely pick a woman. He needs the constituency. I can't pronounce that word. Hey, Glassy, thank you, Athena. I'm so happy you're here. The Democrats are now. There you go, right there. Like I said, I'm still struggling. I'm sitting here, like literally. I think it was just me and Mickey. I was sitting here struggling to think, okay, what has Joe Biden done to say yes, I deserve a reelection? Uh, Boy, I was stretching. I'm like, okay, and then there's the CHIPS Act. Then there's the lowering of prescription medications, but that's only 5, and that doesn't start till 2026. I'm like, I'm seriously trying to like get my brain to think of something, and maybe because I'm third party, but I'm just like, And then there was, but I really, and you notice something that, and this goes, and I'm getting back to my subject about why Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is polling so well. Again, something in my gut tells me that he's going to nominate Robert F. Kennedy Jr. as his running mate. It makes so much perfect sense. He could literally run on um he could literally run on this. I'm trying to bridge the gap. I'm trying to, reach across the aisle and work with the Democrats, although I don't think Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is a Democrat. But hey, I'm not a Democrat, so I can't make a definition of what is or is not a Democrat. But he seems to have a lot of right wing leanings. And before I get to my next round of things about why I think he's polling so well, um, remember September the 7th? Oh no, September the 7th. This show, which is normally called um, The Tracy Show, although in the title it doesn't say that, but The Tracy Show is moving to Thursdays, starting September the 7th, and that means that the after party is also coming back. So I'll be giving like way more details. And remember, I have now a Rumble channel. So just get over there, follow me. You don't subscribe, you actually follow me on Rumble. And I'm gonna try to go live there maybe once or twice to see if it works. But back to the comments. You're wrong on the border. Research it. Massive drops of crossing. The real reason why you discuss it, the reason why I discuss you, but the border is more secure if that's your concern. But didn't he keep Title 42 though? I'm just asking because I don't know. Yeah, I think it's long ago in the U.S. The person who came in second place is in general election. That was the vice president. The people didn't want Biden the last time. Thank you. Could you say that? Mickey, you must be reading my mind. That's another reason why Kennedy is doing so well. Think about it. The people who voted for Biden, because see, I'm not black, so I didn't vote for Biden. So that means I'm not black. But the people that voted for Biden did not vote for him because they thought, you know what? This is the best candidate we got. This is it. This is the one. This is it. They just wanted to get rid of Trump. That was their whole reason for voting for Biden. During the primaries, he was in last place with votes and was out of money. Statistically, he was out of the race till Jim Clyburn jumped in and did what he did. That's another reason why. And this goes back to my point. That's another reason why Kennedy is doing so well. His own party. Not me, not anybody with independent leanings, not anybody that's active with a third party. This is a survey or surveys amongst Democrats saying that they don't want him. They want other choices. So what do? You close the debates. And why do you close the debates with other Democrats? It's beneath you. Your record is so great you shouldn't have to debate it. Doesn't that give you practice? If Kennedy just keeps pounding the debate, just to say he won't debate, he won't debate, he won't debate, You may look up and Joe Biden may have a harder time winning the nomination this time than he did last time. Last time it was just ridiculous. You had um, Pete Buttigieg, Beto O'Rourke, Amy Klobuchar. They all dropped out like the same day and gave their support to fifth place Joe Biden because until South Carolina he was literally in fifth place. Then the Democrats was like, nah, we can't have this. We no, because Bernie was literally on the way to being the nominee. It was his, and then the DNC does what the DNC does. Um, they just fixed it basically. Okay, so Title 42 is gone. But then Parker comes back and says Title 42 is gone because the Supreme Court made that happen. Joe Biden even asked the Supreme Court to delay the removal of Title 42 policy. If I can't read these markers, if the nominee isn't Trump or this, if the nominee isn't Trump or DeSantis, Biden has trouble. Nah. Now this is where I'm gonna disagree with this. If Trump or DeSantis isn't the nominee, he escaped to the presidency. Because if you think about it, let's just say Trump is in prison. He can't get his nomination. DeSantis, his campaign, I look for him to drop out in December, if I'm just being serious. If I'm just really being honest. He's running out of money. He's laid off his staff. Everything he's doing in his campaign is not working. You got, then who does that leave? Mike Pence. Oh, gosh. I'm telling you right now, no. Mike Pence, Tim Scott, Nikki Haley, Chris, what's his name? Chris Christie. The one with the really weird name and I can't pronounce it. Ramaswamy. Oh, I know his name, but I can't pronounce it. Asha Hutchinson. There's Trump and DeSantis, and then there's a list of nobody's name. And I don't see anyone under. I don't even think that DeSantis would have a chance against Biden. I said that last year that I thought DeSantis did, but the way he's coming across and the way he campaigns and he can't relate to people and he's stiff and he's like, ugh, he can't. To me, it's like they're a bunch of weak players. But another reason that I think that Robert F. Kennedy is doing so well, and this is with the older generation, like my age and older, is that Kennedy name. Now I know I said it's not a factor, but I said it wasn't a factor with younger voters. This is a factor with the older voters. They remember um the Kennedy name, Camelot. They remember John F. Kennedy Jr. They remember all of that, the dynasty that the Kennedys built. So that's a name that they can trust. Of course, they probably never heard him speak because the things he says are kind of contradictory. But if you really think about it, was the Kennedys really for the American people? I mean, really, if you think about it, um, there's a lot of other reasons I think he's doing well. Apparently, he has a good ground game um, going. Um, so I would say, and here's a question that I will ask everybody that's watching, and thank you to everybody that's watching this. Um, do you think, okay, on a scale of 0 to 10, 0 being no chance, 10 being he's got it unlocked, what chance do you give RFK of winning the Democratic nomination? 0 meaning he don't have a shot in the world, 10 meaning he's got it unlocked. What chance do you give Robert F. Kennedy Jr. of winning the Democratic nomination? And now I'm going to go to comments. DeSantis knows that if Trump is still alive, he doesn't have a chance at 24. He's trying to build his base for 28. That's what I think too. But progressives and independents are wishy-washy, and it all wait a minute. But progressives and independents are so wishy-washy. It is all a guess without Trump or DeSantis to run against. This gives him a zero chance. The older voter knew JFK, RFK, so this one is nothing like them. I wouldn't even consider him. His name doesn't mean bleep. I'm not gonna read that word, Mickey. Mean bleep when nothing like his father. Zero ain't gonna be a primary. Boy, nobody's giving out. Nobody's gone above one. Biden can kneel over Kennedy. Biden would kill over, and Kennedy was close. Wow. Unfortunately, anyone but Biden has a 0% chance, in my opinion, unless he either passes away or has a major health problem. And then there's Kamala. So here, I'm going to be honest. I want to agree with the zeros, but I'm going to say two. I'm going to say two for a couple reasons. One, if Kennedy is smart, hopefully he's not watching this, but if he's smart, every time he opens his mouth, he needs to be challenging Joe Biden to a debate. Every single time he has a press conference, he has an interview, every time he talks to people, he needs to be challenging Joe Biden to a debate. Every single time. Every single time. He doesn't need to say anything. Well, he needs to say, hold on a second. Every single time he needs to, I don't know why my throat is so itchy and scratchy. But he needs to be challenging Joe Biden to a debate every single time. If he were smart, what he would do is he would call up the Marianne Williamson campaign and say, hey, what you can do, why don't we have a debate, have it on Fox, because you know MSNBC isn't going to broadcast it, CNN isn't going to broadcast it. So you get one of those alternative like News One or Max One or whatever they're called. You do a debate between you two, and just say, hey, we're here, and he's not even here. He's not active. He doesn't want to hear your ideas. That's what you should do. That's if you were smart, that's what you would do. You two would meet and say, hey, I'm not going to badmouth you. You're not going to badmouth me. It's about one of us winning the primary. May the best man or woman win. Okay. Kamala doesn't have a chance if people don't want her. We didn't want her in the first place during the primaries, and they don't want her now. So true. Unless Nina entered the race, she would have the nomination locked up 100%. That's an alternate dream universe, though. Yeah, Parker, you dreaming, because she's not going to run. I think she's done with the Democratic Party, and she's finally come to the realization that that it isn't the party that she thought it was. Biden has zero reasons to debate RFK Williamson, but not him. People of substance don't debate lunatics. Okay, but see, he's polling at, some polls have him at 15%, some have him as high as 25%. He debated Trump, and I know we both agree that he's a lunatic. I mean, he debated him. Why not those two? And I'm like I said, what they should do, they should call up each other, set up a couple of debates, and just say, you know what? We invite him. He didn't want to come. It's the easiest way for their campaigns to get attention. It says what it says. Hey, my this guy doesn't even want to listen to me. If he's not listening to me, he's not going to listen to you. So I kind of, yeah, I'm going to have to disagree with that one. So let's see. I'm almost ready to call this a day. I'm with you, Parker, in my fantasies. Yeah, he did debate Trump, even after Trump almost gave him COVID. I think you mean COVID. But they were so far apart, and that's what I'm saying. At minimum, the debates are a good practice, right? Because you know, basically, Joe Biden is going to win the nomination. Let's just assume it, unless he just does something utterly stupid. He's going to win the nomination. So you can say, oh, well, he shouldn't have to debate. But it gives you, practice in terms of, getting ready for the big debates. And not having them, that's not a good look. Polls are garbage. Conservatives are polling for him, pretending to be liberal. Same thing Dems did. In a minute. Polls are garbage. Conservatives are polling for him, pretending to be liberal. Same thing Dems did, smaller scale last cycle. Thank you, he sure is. Okay, so Trump was the nominee, completely different. But he still wants to. That's what I'm saying. What was he going to say? I'm not going to debate a lunatic. Nope. 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 And here's another reason I think Kennedy's doing well. And I know nobody's going to agree with what I'm about to say. You cannot agree with me, but I want you to hear me out in terms of what, and I'll frame my words very, very cautiously, because this isn't Joe Biden's fault necessarily, but the way he's handling it is a very terrible look. And here's what I'll say. So his son, Hunter, has substance abuse issues. That's just a known fact. He's admitted to them. He's getting treatment. We all hope that, he gets the, wait a minute, hold on a second. Let me get this. Practice. Would you practice debating with the guy arguing with the chair? That was Clint Eastwood. I think that was Clint Eastwood. He addressed it. Well, I think that was Clint Eastwood, but I'm getting your question. But when Joe Biden says that he has 6 grandchildren, and I want you all to hear me out first before you jump on me, that's not a true statement. Joe Biden actually has 7 grandchildren. Hunter had a essentially one night stand with a random woman in Arkansas, and she became pregnant. Years and years, Hunter didn't pay any child support, didn't do anything. She finally gets him to pay child support. And again, I'm saying this is not Joe Biden's fault. Listen to what I'm saying. So they made an agreement. Apparently, the child cannot ever have the Biden last name. Personally, I think that's a good thing, because why put that on that child? Child didn't do anything. But for him not to acknowledge the grandchild, that's kind of wrong. I mean, if Kennedy were a slime bucket politician, he would use that, and I'll tell you how he could use that. Well, I just pretty much told you. He doesn't even acknowledge the grandchild. Just because your son doesn't have a relationship with the child doesn't mean you don't. I think that could come bite him. I don't know how big of a role it could play. It could play like a 0 role, or it could play a huge one. But the way it's being handled, it's a terrible look. There's nothing that child has ever did for you to just say, okay, I'm not acknowledging you. Don't, that's your grandchild. Whatever Hunter did was whatever Hunter did. And he has to step up to the plate and take care of his child. That's his responsibility. But that just doesn't look good. I'm not trying to give the Kennedy camp any ideas, because if I were Democrat, there's no way I'd probably ever vote for this guy. But that may come back to bite. And I'm calling it. That's what I see. So let me go to these comments and get done here pretty soon. If you want, if you want practice for debating a lunatic in the general, maybe it isn't the worst idea to debate a lunatic in the primary. Say, oh Parker, we are kinfolk. We are kinfolk now. I literally thought that because if you can't handle one in the primary, how you gonna handle one in the? Oh, Parker, we are kinfolk. Period. Okay, yes, Amy, you agree with me. Thank you. You saw where I was going because I'm like, well, it's not his fault because that's Hunter. But you can't do that. You have to say, hey, that's my grandchild. I love my grandchild. I want a relationship with my grandchild. It's like, nope, we don't want to do this. And then when they ask him about it, he's real aloof. He's really aloof. And I'm not gonna discuss the cognitive issues at all because I know some people get real sensitive about that. Some people say he has cognitive issues. Other people say he doesn't. But his age, and I can't even say his age because I look at somebody like Bernie Sanders who is like with it, and um, he's active, he's cognitive, he knows his words, he knows his speaking points, he knows everything that he wants to say, right? Um, but I just I know there's a lot of reasons why I know that Kennedy is doing way better than what he should be. And like I said, I think most of the reason is that it's perceived, which I think so, is that Biden hasn't done what we would consider a president to do. You can't just not use the bully pulpit. Trump did it, although it was for stupid things like banning Muslims. He used it. Of course, he also sold our government um, offices to people who gave him favors. But you should be, Joe Biden, you should be winning by at least, you should be pulling ahead by at least 10 points. Like 10 points minimum, 20 points maximum. So I'm going to do a quick poll before I get going because my throat is really agitating me. I do want you all to, um, if you're not on my mailing list, to join it, and you can join it by emailing me at TRACYMediaLLC@gmail.com because Rumble does not let me send out, like on YouTube, you can see what I'm talking about. I don't know how to do that on Rumble yet, and I'm not moving. I'm just moving one show to Rumble. Haven't decided which one it is. It's not going to be this show. It's not going to be the Tracy show. That's going to stay on YouTube. But I do want to kind of play around with Rumble and see this. So again, only 2 people answered when I said from 0 to 10, give me a shot of I was going to say Joe Manchin. Robert F. Kennedy being the nominee. 0 meaning no chance in the world. 10 meaning he's got it. Most of you said 0. I said 2. But that's if he does certain things which he hasn't done or demonstrated he's done. So next week, I think I'm going to talk about the Marianne Williamson campaign. But I don't know yet. So as we get closer to that Tuesday, we'll know. Remember to like this video, share this video, subscribe to this channel. If you're watching on TRACYMediaLLC.com, my website, continue to watch there. I am so happy everybody joined me, so I didn't have to do this show by myself. I want to thank everybody. Have a great evening, and I will see you not this Friday because I thought I had a show this Friday, but I'm not going to do one. So I'll see you next Tuesday, the 25th. Yeah, the 25th. And like I said, um, I think I'll talk about the Marianne Williamson campaign. And I know, oh, one thing I forgot to announce, I am doing an exclusive podcast on this channel called Congratulations to Our 47th President, Cornell Ronald West. That will not stop me from interviewing other third party candidates. I pretty much told them where my leanings are. They've agreed to come on. So, but that show will be every third Sunday. So look for announcements in your mailbox on that. Thank you. 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 Have a great evening. Remember to like this video, share this video, comment on this video, and have a fantastic day. Thank you.